Let me start with this story that's coming from CNBC's Jabari Young. Jabari broke the story yesterday, saying that team owners already mitigated their biggest cost, player contracts. The league and the NBA PA agreed to withhold 25% of players' checks starting next month. With that settled, the team's executives say many owners have no desire to return, saying the league's other sources of revenue have temporarily dried up. Quote, what owners are saying is, if we return, where is the revenue that's going to justify the additional cost of returning? One team executive said they're looking at the cost side versus the revenue side. What revenue comes in now? It's a great business question. It's a great business question because, look, if you say we're a go and we're going to play, you have to pay, and as it's currently negotiated, you have to pay full price for the players. Full price for the players. If you're a go, I don't know about the contracts for NBA arenas. The guarantees of 41 nights, do those go away? Even if you decide to play at Walt Disney World or you start to play in Las Vegas, I don't know the contracts. I don't know if there's what's called a force majeure clause. In other words, where you can just cut it off because of act of God. If this can, in many ways, this is not considered an act of God. That's obviously a Latin term. It's legalese, and it's above my pay grade. But I will tell you this, that while there may be additional costs and won't be the additional revenue, there also may be even less revenue or a major issue with both of your rights holders if you don't come back. Yes, you end up losing more money because you don't have the gate. You don't have parking. You don't have all those other ancillary sponsorship benefits, and now you're paying going rate for your talent, for your players. But if you don't come back, now all of a sudden, ESPN, which is Disney, and Turner, which is AT&T, okay, now all of a sudden, both of those entities stand it's reasonable to think that they will be sued by the cable companies and by wherever they put your product because you promised that you would give them the NBA at some point. Remember, the NBA, these things have not been canceled for a reason. The second you cancel, now all of a sudden you either have to pay back some of the sponsorships, some of the revenues. For example, ESPN, every month you pay, if you have your ESPN, you pay a sub fee of, I think it's like $7, right? $7 of your cable bill goes directly to ESPN. Now, there's a middleman in that, and that's your cable company. Because your cable company pays ESPN a certain amount of that $7. They pay a certain amount, and they take a little bit off the top. But if ESPN does not provide the content they said they were going to provide, now all of a sudden they could turn around and get sued. This has already happened with RSNs, regional sports networks that either going to have the local NBA game or the local baseball game and now have neither. Then you have LeBron James, who took to Twitter yesterday saying, saw reports about execs and agents wanting to cancel the season. That's absolutely not true. Nobody I know is saying anything like that. As soon as it's safe, we would like to finish our season. I'm ready and our team is ready. Nobody should be canceling anything, which I love that. I wish LeBron would have said that when they asked him about playing in front of empty arenas. Look, here's the thing. I think Adam Silver is a decent human being. I think, matter of fact, he's a really good guy. And I do think that he's stronger behind the scenes than he appears when he's on TV. When he's on TV, he just appears to be brilliant, where behind the scenes, I do think that he throws his weight around a little bit. But we say this in sports, it's true in life, it's true in business, and the NBA needs to figure it out. That real leadership is exposed during the hardest times, right? During the most, what's it called? When you have the greatest hardship, that's when anyone can lead when you're killing, Anyone can be the leader of an undefeated team. True leadership is what happens when you've lost 10 in a row. What happens when your league's on hard times? What happens when your league is fractured? Right? Because I'm guessing the owners and the players and the agents that don't want to come back are the ones on the bad teams. What's the point of the Golden State Warriors? They built this beautiful new arena. They already didn't have Steph for most of the year, didn't have Clay the entire year, weren't really trying to win, and they're not going to have any more games at the Chase Center this year. What's really the point for them coming back? They already got the strongest likelihood of a number one overall pick. Right? The only reason the Lakers want to come back is because they want a chance to win a championship. The reason the NBA as a league wants to come back is they want to have the type of ratings that you only get when everyone's in quarantine and nothing else is on. And the likelihood is it takes so long for them to get up and running and back into playing shape, let alone playoff shape, that there actually may be other sports competing with them and the ratings might not be as good. Like, there's a lot of logic to not coming back and playing this year and just going, you know what? Let's press pause and let's do it right next year. But the fact that you have half the league or a portion of the league saying that's a wrap, and you have half the league or a portion of the league saying, no. Who's saying that? We want to come back and play. This is where Adam Silver has to show greater leadership and get everybody on message. Get everybody on message. The easiest parallel I can make is with politics, right? With politics. You know, you go back 4 years ago when at this point in time, all of a sudden, Donald Trump went from one of 16 people to being the candidate for the Republican Party. And even though there was a lot of different reasons that you wanted to jump off the Trump train, the Republicans had to all get on message and on some form or fashion find a way to support, hey, I don't like the guy, but I do love the policies or whatever. Now the same is being said for Joe Biden. There's a reason that all of these politicians are lining up and supporting Joe Biden, because even if you don't want to, in the best interest of your party, you have to get on message and support one guy. If you don't, if you give people two options, all it takes is one Green Party candidate, as we've seen in the past, one third party candidate we've seen in the past, to derail the possibility of your candidate winning. Use history as your guide. If you're Adam Silver, during the toughest of times, this is the time you need to tell everybody to shut the front door, right? That's what you need to tell them. LeBron was off message during the first month or so when he didn't want to play in front of empty arenas. And now that he's trying to get on message, you got this other group of owners or players or agents like, we got paid most of our money. Let's run this thing back to next year. Why would we upset future years' apple cart just so, 4 or 5 teams have a chance of winning a championship? Because the truth is that the cost is greater than the revenue return. And the cost could be ridiculously high for some of these players that aren't in peak condition. Go back and look at after Jordan's 6th championship in 1998, there was a long lockout. What happened was, not only did the Spurs win a shortened season and a condensed playoffs, but you had 5 to 10 star players come back out of shape like a Sean Kemp, and their careers were never the same. Somebody will get hurt in a shortened season. Somebody wasn't staying whether they wanted to or because of a situation scenario couldn't stay in shape. There is not the cost benefit. This is actually not a financial win for the league to play more basketball. This does not make fiscal sense, but the relationships with AT&T and Turner, the relationship with Disney and ESPN should be so valuable, as well as the millions upon millions of people worldwide who are yearning for positivity and sports to take them away from the fact that they are either out of work or unable to get out of their homes. It doesn't look good on the printout, but it will pay benefits in the long run. And whatever the decision the NBA makes, having half the league think one thing and half the league the other, this is the challenge to Adam Silver. You can be the world's most brilliant guy, and he is brilliant. You can be one of the world's good guys leading an organization, and he is. But during this time, you have to be strong, unite, and get everybody on the same message. Otherwise, you become a fractured party.